We're looking at the Cape Breton West Islanders tonight with their head coach, Kyle Gillies. Restrictions starting to ease up in Nova Scotia. Kyle, how excited are you about the prospect of starting up again? And do you have any schedule info as of yet as to when the Islanders will be on the ice?
Thank you for having me. Great to be here. Great news from the province. So it's looking like not this weekend, but the following weekend we'll be back to the regular schedule. Early indications suggest that we're going to play upwards to 7 games to finish our schedule up, then head into playoffs. We're sitting in the middle of the pack now, but we're looking forward to the opportunity to move up a notch or two before the playoffs start.
6th in the league out of 8 teams, but it's very competitive. What are your thoughts on the first half and the games that were played?
We ended off on a very high note. We had a really good game in Port Hood against the top team in the league, the Halifax Max. I believe it was December 5th, our last game, and we had a pretty significant win. It was a 5-1 win in Port Hood. That's the big thing with our team, I think. Consistency has been the issue through the year. One weekend we'll battle and win against the tops in the league, and then another weekend we hit the tail end of the league and the results wouldn't be so pretty. It's finding that sweet spot. Just before the break, I think we were really catching our stride.
Walk us through what the layoff looked like. Was there any practice time at all? How did that go?
We were fortunate to keep our practice times. The main difference between last year's restrictions was that we were put behind the 8 ball a little bit with the 50% capacity on the ice. Although it was a regular schedule, we would get her 3 or 4 times in a week. Very thankful for that. That's one of the hardest things. I think a lot of the coaches in the league would say the same thing. With no games on the horizon, keeping the motivation high within the room and keeping the boys excited to go to practice. We're quickly approaching 100 practices on the season, so practice hasn't been an issue. It's just the main battle during this COVID was having only half the team on the ice per session or only being able to run a practice red line down. It was challenging, but a good learning experience, I think, especially for the coaches, planning purposes and that. So, yeah, you always take the good out of the situation. We handled it quite nicely, I think, and the boys looked very sharp.
Talking with Kyle Gillies, head coach of the Cape Breton West Islanders. You become the head coach because Nick MacNeil moves up to be an assistant coach of the Moncton Wildcats. Nick, of course, played with the Cape Breton West Islanders a number of years ago before playing with the Eagles. Just tell us how much he meant to that program over the years.
I believe in the old saying, you kind of start becoming the people that you spend the most time with, right? I was very fortunate to spend my time with guys like Sean Donovan, who's now a coach with the St. of X-Men, Troy Chesson, who's going to be seeing a TELUS Cup this year with the Rush, Kyle Duke, obviously, who we won the TELUS, and then finishing off with Nick MacNeil was just outstanding. He brings such a professional environment to the whole group. He has very high expectations. And I think having a guy that's been there and done that, playing at the world stage at some points in his career. I know he took part in the World University Games and he's seen a lot of the world and a lot of experiences, and that's really invaluable. So for me to kind of absorb as much from him as I could, I still talk to him on a regular basis, and someone I look up to for sure with regards to my coaching philosophies.
Looking at the team that you have on the ice this year, if somebody were to come out to the Cape Breton West Islanders game, who are some key players that people should be looking out for?
Starting from goalies out, I think we have one of the best in the league in Jack Milner. He's a Halifax Mooseheads pick, and if I could tell the future, I'd tell you now that he'll be a player in that league. He brings so much to the table. Not only his competitive nature and his ability, but just a glue guy in the dressing room and keeps everything together. On the D side, we have 3 picks in the queue. Captain Ryan Hayes brings a lot of physicality and toughness. The duo from Antigonish, Leighton Stewart and Ray McKinnon, they'll be logging a lot of minutes for us and running our special teams and keeping the boys in check. And up front, we were very lucky to get Tully Grant back this year. He had a tremendous amount of success back with the Novas with Tyler Peddle, and he's leading our team in points and scoring, and he's been getting better, in my opinion, every time he hits the ice. His line mate, Jack McDonald, looking at their stats, it doesn't really indicate their ability and their creativity. I think they have another level to show. Another pick would be Kevin Walker from Antigonish. He's property of the Charlottetown Islanders. Great two-way player. For first-year guys, a guy to keep an eye on certainly would be Riley Sampson. He'd be leading our team in rookie scoring. He does a little bit of it all, and after seeing guys make that jump to the next level, he's certainly one guy that fits the prototype of that. Up and down, we've been rolling 4 lines steady all year, so at any given night, any one of the boys could jump up and be a game changer for us.
Great insight on your team in the league, Kyle. Thanks and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you for having me.
That's Kyle Gillies. He is head coach of the Cape Breton West Islanders in the Nova Scotia U18 Major Hockey League. You're listening to the intermission of Uniglass Plus, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.